Hello Flosstube. Today is Thursday the 3rd of July 2025 and this is Flosstube number 43. I'm Lindsay, Cheshire Stitcher, both here on YouTube and over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel. Mostly it's about cross stitch, but I will share other crafts occasionally. 9 times out of 10 that's going to be my beading, and I have got a bit of that for you today. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. It's lovely to see you again. And a very warm welcome if you are one of the 4 new subscribers I've had since my last video. It's great to have you here. If you are new, or even if you're returning and you haven't done so already, I would really appreciate it if you could like this video and any others you may watch or may have watched, and maybe even hit that subscribe button. It all helps with the YouTube algorithm that I have no clue how it works, but I know the more likes there are, the more likely it's like YouTube is likely to go, oh, have you watched this person? So, admin bit done. Right. Oh. I apologise now in advance. I will be moving around quite a lot. I had a fall last week. I was at my daughter's and I put my foot on some earth that wasn't as stable as it appeared to be, and I fell backwards and landed on my derriere. Luckily I've got plenty of padding, but it does make sitting quite painful on some seats, and this sofa is one of them. I can drive just fine. The great support there, that doesn't hurt. I can sit on my beading chair, that's okay, I can do that. I could sit there for hours and not move. Same with my the chair I have in my craft room. I could sit there for hours and it wouldn't hurt, but sitting here does. So I've obviously done something to my coccyx. I haven't broken it because I think I would, well, I know I would be in a lot more pain if it was broken. So I haven't been to the doctors. It's a bit pointless because all they'll do is tell me to rest as much as I can and take painkillers. So I can do that myself without going and taking up a doctor's appointment. So there we go. And while I'm thinking about it, I apologise for not coming back last week when I said I would. I was going to be here last Friday. Well, my partner came home from work sick on the Tuesday and stayed off all week, so I wasn't able to record at all. I just couldn't do it with him mostly sleeping here beside me, you know. Instead of going to bed and sleeping, no, he has to fall asleep on the sofa. Men. Right, today I have got finishes, I've got a new start, and I've got lots of stitching and a little bit of stash enhancement. Not a huge amount, but a little bit. So we will get going, shall we? First of all, finishes. You might remember last month I was doing Uno on the semi-sewn stitches, and I'd said to you that we could substitute a project if we finished a project, which I ended up doing because I finished the scissor case. I think that one was done when I showed it to you, and this one didn't have that much left to do, so I got that finished. So that's my first finish. And then I have been working away on the projects for the heartstring samplery Peakside weekend, which is this weekend coming. So I've been busy working away on that. I did have this as one of my class projects. No, one of my Uno projects as well. And now I'm just spending every minute I can. I'm nearly done. I'm nearly done. I'll get another bit done today. But I'm counting them all as little finishes. So the first thing is the box top. Excuse the unironed state. I never iron projects, as you know. And as I say, when I did this last time, I did tell you I'd made a little boob I'd stitched that bird 2/2 instead of 1/2, so he just looks a bit more intense in colour. So that's the box top finished. I will obviously iron all of this before I go to the class. I've done one of the berries, so there's that one there. I've done one of the scissor fobs, and I finished that this morning, and I've just, as you, well, I suppose technically that's the end of the finishes. So let's show you. I tried to be as frugal as I could with my fabric. So there we go. It uses Weeks Dye Works. That's our palette. Pinks and greens and browns and a bit of grey. Really, really, I've loved working on this. And the fabric is Cafe au Lait Fibre on a Whim, and I've got the 36 count. We could choose 36 or 32. So that's where we're up to now. I will get this other little fob finished today, and then I've got one more berry to do, which hopefully I'll get finished in time. If I don't, I don't. It's not the end of the world. I've made a berry before. Sorry, I'm a bit itchy today. I don't know why. I can always finish it at home, or I can finish stitching it on Saturday evening because I'm driving back and to each day. Because for me, it works out cheaper to drive back and to each day than it does to stay over. It's only about 40 miles away. It's not far at all. So yeah, as I said, I've started on the second fob, but I've literally done about 4 stitches, but I should get that finished today. So my other new start, I started on Tuesday for Christmas in July. I'm doing this with a friend, and it's Dasher and Dancer from Hobby House. Now, I started it Tuesday evening, and I've literally only done that little bit that I did on Tuesday evening because, like I say, I need to concentrate on my class project. So that's as much as I managed. I'm using 36 count, and it's the March and April fabric of the month from Sparklies. I had to do a bit of frogging. So, and I'm using the entire fat quarter because it wasn't worth chopping it down, because I'd have like 2 inches one way and an inch or something the other way. So I just thought I might as well start it as is. So that's as far as I got. I will be going back to this, certainly Sunday evening. And I'm using 1035 Sulky. Nice Christmassy red. So I will be back to that on Sunday evening, possibly Saturday evening, depending on how I get on with that other berry and fob. And that's it for new starts. So, I'll do the Uno projects first, shall I? So I carried on with the Uno. It's being awkward. No, that's not right. No, we don't want that one. Excuse me a minute. So I carried on, as I say, with the Uno stitching. You? No, not you. And one of the Uno projects was my Current Love Quilt Square, which I don't have a picture of. I never printed one off. So last time you saw it, it looked like that. And now it looks like this. So as you can see, I've done a fair old bit. I've had to move the frame up. I've started it on the baby's face, so I've only really sort of got the body down here to do. I also had this down for my temperature stitching in June, and it came out a couple of times, but I'll tell you about my temperature stitching in a minute. So yeah, I enjoyed the Uno stitching so much that I have put 4 projects on a tiny decision wheel, and I spin it in the morning and then work on whatever project it says. So this actually got attention this morning. I figured it's worked so well for me that I'll keep it up. If I don't keep it up after the end of July, that's fine. It's entirely up to me how I do stuff, isn't it? My stitching, my rules. So yeah, I'm really happy with the progress that I've made. I'm not far off having Mum finished. So this is due 26th of July, so it's going to get a lot of attention over the next couple of weeks. Anyway, because I finished the scissor case, I put in a new project, and I went with let me find the picture. They're all jumbled up because some of them are, there we go. I went with this one. This is one of my 25 and 25 starts. It's a model for sparklies. I thought it's about time I got my act together, and it's July. So this is another one that's gone on my daily wheel spin for this year. I've already completed the Santa, and I'm working on the Ho Ho Ho. And like I said last time, it's surprising how much you can get done when you do 100 stitches a day-ish. Sometimes it's a couple more, sometimes it's a couple less. Last time, oh goodness me, I'm quite good at doing that. Last time you saw it, it looked like that. So I barely started it really. And now with the 100 stitches a day, because it came up a fair few times, it looks like this. So it's not far off being done. So when it is finished, I will start the next one. Fabric is 32 count Viro, V-I-R-E-A-O or E-O, I can't remember. Anyway, it's sparklies fabric. And that's what we're doing, or where we're up to. I have got to frog this because it's one thread out. So I need to frog that. But otherwise, as you can see, like I say, it's not far off being done. So on we go. So in my next video, which I have no clue when that will be, only because when I would have recorded, we're going to Bournemouth. We're going to go and spend a few days with my partner's brother. They live down in Bournemouth. They're coming up this weekend to do some work on the car and the van. Don't ask. Just don't ask. So, yeah. And then, like I say, we're going down there, and we go something like the 14th and come back. Is it the 14th? No, not the 14th. 16th. I think we go the 16th or the 17th, and we come back the following Tuesday, so something like the 22nd, I think. So that's right slap bang in the window where I would normally have recorded, so we'll just have to play it by ear, and I'll be back when I'm back. Anyway, back to the Uno stitching. No, it's not that time. It's that Another project that I had for my Uno stitching was my last start for Mania. Dinky Dies the Dreaming. Thoroughly enjoyed this. So much so that I have put this on my tiny wheel, my Tiny Decisions wheel, because it's been such an enjoyable stitch. So I am using 36 count something, and I'm using the called for silks, which are number 97 Aussie Jewels and number 93 Pacific Ocean. They are such lovely silks to work with. Absolutely adore them. So I've already shown you. Have I shown you? No, I haven't. If I had a brain, it'd be dangerous. Being in pain is no fun, as some of you will know. Last time you saw it, it looked like that. And again, I've been adding 100 stitches when it was called for the Uno. And now it looks like this. As you can see, I've done a heck of a lot on it. Next thing I'm going to do, I think, is once I've done this one here, I'm going to move out and I'm going to make a start on the outer border, just because it's a border, and I tend to sort of swap and change between borders and centres because borders can be a bit boring. So there we go. Again, thoroughly enjoying it, and I will be making more progress on this month, because as I say, I've put it on my Tiny Decisions wheel. I've only had the 3 projects come out so far, so we've had Ho 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 come out, and the Love Quilt Square came out this morning, and the one that I've just realised I put in the wrong place for, I'll put it as a PhD, not as a, never mind, let me find my picture. So you might remember a couple of videos ago, I think, I was doing my Whip Goes, and one of the ones that was called for that particular month was this Peacock Cipher, and I did my stitches on it and I put it away, and then I decided I was wondering what I was going to put as my 4th project, because for the Uno I had the class stitching. Well, obviously that's not going to be around after this weekend, so I was trying to think what I was going to work on, what I was going to add as my 4th project, and pardon me, for some reason YouTube decided to show me one of my videos when I wasn't paying attention, you know, wandering around doing bits of housework and making coffee, and one finished and mine popped up, and it was the one that I had worked on, this one, and I was like, oh okay, let's do that. So my 4th Tiny Decision project is Peacock Cipher. So this came out yesterday. Well, obviously we've only had 3 days, so it was either yesterday or the day before. So last time you saw it, after I'd done my Whip Go stitching, it looked like this. So I'm hoping that if I do however many days of 100 stitches, I'm going to keep track so I can tell you at the end of the month how many days each project got. I'll have made some really good progress on it. So that's what it looked like now. No, not now, when I picked it up. And then my 100 stitches that I've added on once, and it now looks like that. I've made a start on the wording for the cipher. If you could hear Rosie mowing, it's because the post lady's just arrived and she talks to Rosie through the window because Rosie's sitting in the window. Lots of people stop and talk to Rosie sitting in the window, and she mows back, so that was Rosie. So there we go. Yeah, my fabric for this is, told you, not organised, spur of the moment. It's a piece from Sparkly's Oddments, so I've no idea. And the silks, I'm using the Cold For silks. I was gifted the silks for it. My old floss mum was allergic to the silks, so she sent them to me. And I started it on the 29th of January 2018. So there we go. So next time you see it, it will have come out, I would imagine, at least 2 or 3 times. So I will have that finished. This is all obviously all over one. If you've ever stitched this and you know what the cipher says, I know it says in the chart not to tell people, but please do, because I'm useless at stuff like that. I can do a Sudoku board. Can't do a crossword. So yeah, if you could possibly let me know, I'd be ever so grateful. So there we go. That's that. I've got a couple of PhDs to share with you, and then we'll move on to the temperature stuff. PhD, in case you are new here, I don't refer to my projects as WIPs, works in progress. I refer to them as PhDs, which is a potential happy dance, because we all do a happy dance when we finish something. So, we had a day trip to Llandudno on Tuesday because I wanted to go to the bead shop. Walking around, I'm fine. Standing, I'm fine. I can do that. It's the sitting. But we went in Daisy, which is basically the car, and sitting in the seat in the car is absolutely fine. Well, it's over an hour's trip and we had to go to Warrington beforehand, so I take stitching. If I'm not driving, I take my stitching. So I took this with me, the Snowman Mantle. Started this last month, bought it at Create Nostalgia when I was there, when I was at the Wrexham retreat. And I started it last month. So last time you saw it, because I forgot to take a picture, so I've had to put my video on, whiz through it and take a photo. It looked like that. And you might remember I said that I had made a mistake and the bird should have been red, not white. So I fixed that. I didn't fix that on Tuesday, I'd already fixed that. So here we are now. So I changed the bird, as you can see. I've still got a little bit to do on the cardinal. He hasn't got a beak as yet. I've got some French knots down here to do on the penguin, and I've got some sort of scattered stitches in here to do. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with how much I got done on the way there and on the way back. I don't stitch hugely fast in the car. I mean, I don't stitch usually fast anyway, but I'm a bit slower in the car than I am at home, because obviously roads are bumpy. So there we go. Quite happy, as I say, with how much I got done. I think I'm probably, looking at the picture, getting towards 2/3 done of part 1. This will be going with me when we go down to Bournemouth, because it's ideal for stitching in the van. We'll be going down to Bournemouth in the van. because it's big holes, so don't have to muck around with thread because it uses pearl cottons. So there we go. So yeah, there will be a lot more progress on this at some point, but like I say, I don't know when my next video will be. We're just gonna have to play it by ear and see how we go. And then Jeanette and I have managed one lonely little session, and it was only a few hours on our stitch along, which is Sunflowers Farm from Corey Ebatakori, one of my 25 and 25 projects. So once I've got this class project out of the way, I will have more time to work on stuff. Come on, where are you? I know you're here because I checked. Just looking for the picture. Come on. I recovered the photo. I deleted it by accident, you see. And I know I recovered it. Ah, there it is. So, last time you saw it, it looked like that. You might just about be able to see if I move. There you go. I'd started on the word farm. So that was last time you saw it. And as I say, it literally only got a few hours because of one thing or another. And I hadn't fallen at this point. I think it was the day before. So here we are now. So as you can see, I've finished off the word farm and I've started on the vine going up. So next time we work on it, which will be next week, we will work on it next week. There will be at least one day on it. My plan is to come up and finish this and then start along the top. So there we go. That's how we're looking so far. That's the bottom, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, that's what I say. That's the bottom. And I'm not far off the top. So there we go. I do enjoy it. I just wish we could get a bit more time on it. Just life has been so busy lately with one thing and another. It's just not happening. And then my last PhD is the flag. The Union flag, the one that I'm doing for a customer of Doodlecraft. I know I said it would be finished for this month, but it just hasn't happened. I really do need to get it finished. I need it out of the way. I need the frame back. I just want it done. So that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. If I wasn't doing class stitching, I would be working on this afternoon. So this will definitely be like from Tuesday onwards. This is going to get a lot more attention. It needs it. Like I say, I need it finished. So last time you saw it, it looked like that. I've made a start on the blue of Kingdom. I've finished the thistle and the daffodil. So, and now so I finished off that blue section there. I started on this blue section, then decided that I would finish the red. So that's all done now. And then I made a start on the long line of white. No, not long line of white. This, the white bit of the cross. I did that so that I could move my scroll frame a little bit and make a start on, I think it's the shamrocks down in this corner, just to break it up a little bit for myself. But I do need to get my finger out and get it done. I'm not putting it on a temperature, well, I'm not assigning it a temperature. I'm not putting it on my tiny decisions wheel, because we all know what those little, I mean, there's only 4 projects on it, so there's a 1 in 4 chance of it coming out, but it could be 5 or 6 days between it popping up on the wheel. Excuse me. It's not as warm today as it has been. I think we're at 21 degrees. Was the forecast this morning. I always check the BBC weather app in the morning, because that's what I'm using for my temperature stitching. I am a little bit behind on that, but again, next week I can spend some time playing catch up. So I'll show you the projects first, I think, and then I will tell you how many times they've come out. Now, temperature stitching, assign 10 projects from 0 to 9, and look at the temperature in the morning, see what the high for the day is going to be. So if it's 21, you use 1. If it's 28, you use 8, and so on. So that's what I've been doing. I am, like I say, a little bit behind. I've got a little bit of catching up to do for June, and I haven't done any of July's as yet, but that's okay. My stitching, my rules, and I know once I can actually sit down and work on my temperature stitching, some of them have come out 2 or 3 times over the course of the month, and some of them I've still got a couple of those to do. Well, that's 200 stitches. That's depending on the project, that's only a couple of hours, 2.5, 3 hours maybe. So I could quite easily catch up within a week. Anyway, these are going to be in no particular order, just the way I've pulled them out. So, one project that's come out, let me take the needle mine, I don't normally leave needle mines on, is Morning Coffee by Stitch Rovia. Again, one of my 25 in 25. I am going to get around to writing on basically the back of a postcard, putting it in the project with all the information on, which is something I normally do, but for some reason haven't with quite a few of them. So, you know, the information like what the fabric is, and if it's a 25 in 25, what number it is, that kind of stuff. So, Stitch Rovia's, pardon me, Morning Coffee. It's on a 32 count something that happens to be the right size, and I'm using the code for DMCs. So last time you saw it, it looked like this. There we go. So it's had 1, 2, is it 1 or 2? I can't remember. I think it might have only had 1. Anyway, it's been worked on since you last saw it. Like I say, what I'll do is I'll go through my list in a minute, tell you what I assigned to each number and how many times it's come out. So they are, like I say, in no particular order. It's just how I've grabbed them this morning. painkillers have kicked in. So it's not quite so sore now. And there we are. This is how it looks like now. How it looks like, what it looks like now. So I finished off the word coffee. I have made a mistake on this. So there was a bit of fudging going on with the word coffee. I think one of the letters is too close to the I can't remember now. It's been a good couple of weeks. I think it was worked on the day of my last video or the day after. So yeah, it's been a while since it's seen the light of day. But there we go. So I finished the word coffee on that. And so far, that doesn't have any days to be caught up as yet. In a bag I made myself. Little rubber ducks and duckies on the inside. Next one, and this has only come out once. Is the one I started on my birthday. See how they run. I started with this block just because we were going to Blackpool for the day and in the van my partner was driving, so I picked that block to start because it was easier to stitch on the motorway. Last time you saw it, it looked like that. As I say, it's only come out once. And so it now looks like this. So I would imagine, well, I'll see next time it comes out because they've got sort of a swirly bit at the top to do. I've got to finish the word C. It's entirely possible that it may end up being finished, or this piece being finished, pardon me, by the time I see you next, if it comes out. It didn't come out till quite late in the month, to be fair. So, like I say, it's only come out once. So we just, you never know. And it doesn't have any days owing. So next one that has come out, and this still has a day owing on it. Hillside Samplings, Quaker Diamond. I had this chart for I don't know how long. It shows you how long I've had this chart. Look, it's a proper photo. They stopped doing that a heck of a long time ago. So I am using 35 count Weeks Dye Works linen in linen. Last time you saw it, it looked like this. So it came out in total 3 times in the month. I've only, as I say, I've got one session left to do on it. And this is how it looks now. So I've finished the outer diamond, and I said to my partner, which one shall I do? Showed him the chart, you know, and he pointed to this one. So this is the left hand one. Is it the left hand? No, right hand one. Right hand. Well, you're probably sitting there yelling at me which side it is. But there we go. So this still has one session owed on it. It's had the two. So I've got one to go. 35 count week's dye works linen in linen, and I am using sulky black and a variegated sulky for the yellow. So that's that one. Oh, go away. I can go through and delete all these pictures now. So, next one. This has only come out once. No. Is it once? Twice. But it's still owed a session. Stacy Nash, Goose. You might remember I started this at Cheshire Stitchers in May after having a day out with Elaine Welly Stitcher and Sally, Flossie Sews and Grows, and we discovered over lunch that we all had an animal cracker that we wanted to do, so we decided we would start it at Cheshire Stitchers the following week. We've got a hashtag of Cheshire Cracker. It could be Cheshire Cracker Sal. And then once we've each finished our particular one that we already had, then we are going to swap. But I think a few of us have, I haven't as yet, but I will be buying more. So last time you saw him, he looked like that. If you remember, I sort of said he looks a bit like a snake. Because he does. Because I haven't filled his mouth in or his nostril or anything like that. And I'm using all the called for weeks. Ring Bling is from Pretty Little Thread Keeps. Jeanette bought me a set as a surprise. Well, she called it a Valentine's gift. And this is how he looks. Now, as I say, he's got a session owing on him. So what I'll probably end up doing when I've got a day next week, probably Tuesday, the ones that have only got one day owing, I'll get them caught up first and then I'll move on. So this is my centre, because the hat you stitch the hat here. So there we go. He still looks a bit like a snake, but at least the neck now looks like a giraffe because I filled in gaps. I tend to alternate between this and this filling because it's a bit boring doing the same colour over and over and over and over. I do that with a lot of projects. And then, like I say, I do it with borders. If I've got a border on something, I'll do a bit of border and then I'll do the centre and break it up. I can't be doing all the border at once. And no. If I do all the centre, I probably wouldn't finish the border. So, come on, where are you? I know you're here, I've seen you this morning. Oh, don't tell me I deleted that one as well. It would appear that I did. You silly girl. No, it's not that one. Bear with me, I'm going to have to recover the photo because I'm an idiot. and I deleted it. Now I've got to try and find it. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Where are you? Wherefore art thou? Did I even have a photo of? Pardon me talking to myself. As you do. Can't see it for looking for it. No, I can't see it. Oh, I remember. Last time, I'm looking for something and I'm looking for the wrong picture. Last time I'd had to frog it, hadn't I? Or I told you I would needed to frog it. Was that the right way round? Oh well, I can't find the picture. Right, okay. So it is thought I'd pulled my head out but can't see it. You know, my steampunk portal, because that's had about this much attention. But I can't see it here. Never mind. So, it's this one. Another one of my mania starts from Northumberland Sampler House. So, I'd made a start on it and realised I'd made a mistake and had to frog everything I'd done. So this has been out twice and it still has 2 sessions owing. I can't remember if last time you saw it was when I'd completely frogged it and it was just literally the fabric with the holes in it where I'd frogged, or if I'd started to restitch it, because if you remember I'd made a big mistake and not accounted for the fact that there was 2 alphabets, because there's designed to go around one of those pot holder frog spool thingies, and she gives you 2 alphabets depending on whether or not you're on the size of your spool. One would need 2 spaces apart, one would need 3. Well, I haven't got one of them, so I decided to go with 2, but forgot to account for the extra 10. So when I started in the middle, my middle was a bit further down and this was in the overlocking stitches, so I had to frog it all out. Anyway, I've done that, as you can see, and I've made a start on restitching it. Like I say, it's got 2 more sessions owed to it, so I'll have to make sure I take a picture of it because it'll be having to be moved soon. It's a 36 count band and DMCs. I'm sure she's got a few other little snippet kits. It's really nice to stitch. Just if you ever do get one, don't forget to account for the extra thing, like dum me didn't. No. Oh well. So another one that I've only got 2 left to go to show you with temperature stitching. This one's been out 3 times. You hunt and hunt and hunt and hunt and can't find it, and then looking for the next picture. That's what the Elizabeth Lincoln looked like last time you saw it. So I knew there was a picture. You watch, you won't be able to find this one now. We are looking for the snowman. There we go. So this isn't owed any and I have remembered to do a card for this one. This is French Country Snowman, JBW Designs. Started it on the 19th of April. It's number 9 of my 25 in 25. Has a couple of first times for me. It's my first time using a fox and rabbit fabric, and it's my first time I've used a sulky variegated. I know I've said I've used it with the Quaker Diamond, but I started this one before I started the Quaker Diamond. So that's my 4014 is the variegated sulky I'm using. And my fabric is 36 count prehistoric from Fox and Rabbit. Like I said, I've never stitched on one before. Really like it actually. So much so I bought some more. Different colours, but anyway. So last time you saw it, it looked like this. I say it came out 3 times during June. And now it looks the right way, like this. I'm almost to the bottom of the snowman, and it's little I can get away with that. So yeah, I'm almost thinking, or am I at the bottom of the snowman? I'm at the bottom. So this here is that there. Pardon me. So yeah, I'm at the bottom of the snowman. So next time it comes out, it will get, I'll finish this bit off and I'll get the wording and underway. So this is in for July's temperature stitching as well. In another bag I made myself, but I'll tell you, it's lined with green. The zip doesn't work properly and I've got gaps. This was like the second bag I made, and I was trying to cut corners and make it a bit quicker, so I didn't change the foot, so I used my zipper foot to sew. Yeah, but I like it, I use it, and it just shows how far I've come. I have been making bags because that is something I can do because I'm stood up, which takes the weight off my derriere, and actually sewing them together is a lot easier because it's my chair upstairs is a gamer's chair, not one of the fancy pants ones, but it was my dad's, so I had that. Right, my last temperature one to show you today. Again, it's a 25 in 25. I dropped my postcard. Oh, luckily the floor's a lot closer sitting on a seat than it is when you stood up, because bending over can be painful. So this was number 3 of my 25 and 25. It's a 32 count white, probably Murano, and I started it on the 11th of January. It is Cotton and Twine, March 23. I've got, okay, an unusual horn. Could have been a train. Mind you, I wouldn't have heard that. Excuse me waffling to myself. I do live quite close to a train line, but it's like, what I would say a 2-minute walk that way. So I don't know what that loud horn was that I heard. Never mind. Yeah, Cotton and Twine, March 2025. No, not March 25, March 23. I've got all 4 of the seasons. I bought the winter one first and decided that if I liked the other ones I would get them, and I did. So yeah, my 25 in 25, by the way, is all stuff that was in my stash on Friday the 13th of December last year. I had to have a cut-off date, and Friday the 13th was like, yeah, okay, that'll do. Friday the 13th will do nicely as a cut-off date. So this has still got a couple of sessions owing on it. So last time you saw it, it looked like this. There's a project that my dragon stitch for Mum, Lynn the Lancashire Stitcher organised. That's owed a couple of sessions, but I haven't worked on it since my last video, so there's no point me getting it out. So last time you saw it, it looked like this. And as I say, I need to do a couple of sessions on it. And here it is now. So I've started these flowers. I've done the little bit on the top of the chicken's head. Can't remember what else I've done. I think I finished off the thread on the chicken as well, yeah. So there we go, that's how it's looking at the moment. I did the little flowers here. What I tend to try and do is, because there's a lot of stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, I'll pick a colour. So like I picked the colour for the flower, the outer colour for the flower. And so I've done that, and I've done the beak, and then I've done those little flower bits, and then I've come in and done, just to try and use up most of the length of thread. And I do a pinhead stitch start, so rather than a loop, so I can use a length of thread up as it goes. So yeah, I've got two sessions owing on that, and that is the end of the stitching. So let me just tell you. So for June, Goose was my 0, and he came out once. Sorry, twice. I looked at the wrong bit. My first number 1 was Quaker Diamond, and that came out a total of 4 times. 2 was See How They Run, and that came out once. 3 was Elizabeth Lincoln, which is the snippet, and that came out a total of 4 times. I still owe it a couple. Number 4 was the Dragon, which is the Dragon Stitch for Mum, which came out 3 times. I still owe it 2, and I haven't worked on it since the last video. Number 5 is Spring, and that came out a total of 4 times, but I still owe it a couple of times. Number 6 was the Dreaming, which was also on my Uno board, so I kind of cheated a little bit with that, and if it came out on the same day, I just did the 100 stitches and counted it for both. My stitching, my rules. Number 7 was Morning Coffee, and that came out 3 times. Number 8 was the French Country Snowman, and he came out 3 times. And number 9 was my Love Quilt Square. And again, the Love Quilt Square, if it came out on the same day it was called for Uno, I did it for both. I'm going to, if you watch Stuart in Stitches, he has them out 10 times and then puts them away. What I'm going to do is the month. So, you know, I'll have all the same projects for that month, and then I'll see at the end if I finish something. Fair enough, I can substitute it. If something's quite close to a finish, I might take it out and just finish it and put something else in its place. But that's the way I'm going to work it. So my list is pretty much the same for July. So we'll see how we go with that. And again, I will tell you end of July, or maybe not at the end of July, beginning of August, how we've gotten on with temperature stitching for August. By then, hopefully, with any luck, everything will have come out at least once, and I will have caught up. My plan is to catch up next week. I don't know, like I say, when my next video will be, because when I should have been recording, we're going to Bournemouth. So that's it for stitching. Bear with me a sec. So my beading, I have some beading. As you know, I've been working on this stacking tree from Julia Prettle. That's stacking, yeah, stacking tree. Not boxes, yeah, stacking tree. I've kept calling it stacking boxes. It isn't. It's stacking tree, Julia Prettle. Last time you saw it, I had the first 4 sections completed, and I had this bit of number 5. Well, number 5 is now completed. There we go. I have decided I am going to stop at 6 rather than 7, simply because, there we go, that's my one so far. I'm going to stop at 6 because these 2 colours here that you use for the trunk and your hem, I would have to buy more to do a 7th layer, and because they're colours that I wouldn't use, I'm not going to go out and splash out on them. I bought 25 grams of each, and there's enough to do section 6, so I already know what colour it's going to be. I haven't started it yet. What I've been doing is one of these and then take a break and do something else while I've started Christmas ornaments for the grandsons. One's come to a grinding halt because I've somehow managed to lose the thread. No idea how I've done that. My 2025 charms arrived, so the first one that I did, I put the dangles on this morning. But because I can't find that thread, I've started something else. Remember in my last, was it my last video? Might have been my last video. I'd been to Spellbound. I've started the Minster Star. I should have grabbed that to show you as well, but never mind. Right. So, onto my little bit of stash enhancement. It's not a lot. I have had my cotton and twine box for June, but I haven't opened it as yet. I don't know why. It came last week and I still haven't opened it. But you'll have seen it loads of times. It's the birdhouse one. Everybody will have been showing it, so if I remember, I'll show it you next time. If not, there's plenty out there that have shown it. So, my little bit of stash enhancement, I have my fabrics from Crafty Kate for May. I get 13 by 18 in 36 count. So I can always order a bigger piece if I wanted to, but I should have taken it out the bag. I never thought about that, but never mind. So that's that. I finally got to go and see Jeanette. It's been probably a good couple of months since we've seen each other. We talk every day, but just we never seem to quite manage to get together. So when I went to see her, I got my belated birthday present off her. Part of it's in the fridge. It was a box of chocolates, so I'm slowly working my way through them. But she also gave me Santa's house. When it first of all came out, I loved it, and I just never got round to buying it. From the Fabulous House series from Cottage Garden. But again, you'll have known this, you'll have seen this around the block quite a few times because it came out, was it 23? I think it came out 2023. I didn't want to do the entire set. There's a couple of others I might get, but we'll see. But anyway, that was one birthday gift. And the other one was that. She'd bought it for herself. And I was like, oh wow, love that. I do like a Quaker. So she got me a copy. I won't be doing the stocking, I'll be doing just the straight sampler, which if you read the instructions, it's pretty much, you stitch that up to about here, and then there's a few things that are kind of moved around, and I think there's an extra bit added onto it just to make it up. But that was my other birthday gift off Jeanette. And then lastly, this arrived yesterday. So I are doing a black rooster sal, and I didn't have any fabric big enough, so I did a floss toss on what I had and liked it on this, but obviously the cut wasn't big enough, so I ordered, there we go, this is a fat eighth of Fibre on a Whim Affogato in 36 count. So this is the one I wanted for the black rooster sal that started last Saturday. They're releasing a part each Saturday. I ordered it Thursday, kind of hoped it would arrive, but you know, I didn't get any post at all until yesterday, which probably means my post lady was off. So that's for the black rooster sal. But while I was there, I was like, I can't just order one piece of fabric. You know how it is, it can't travel on its own. So I ordered a few other fat 16ths, mostly so that I've got something to, like I say, like I did with that one, do a floss toss on and go, yeah, I like the threads on that, and I'll order a bigger piece. But also because, you know, you can use them for anything. So I ordered this. This one is 36 count Silver Fox from Fibre on a Whim. Sort of a nice, see, that blows it out. That's much more like it. And I don't have much in the way of greys and etc, because I've liked stitching on the prehistoric so much from Fox and Rabbit. I ordered this. This is paper bark, 36 count. Yeah, I have to, because I sit by a window, and so the window is there, and then the door is there with a big glass panel in it. It blows it out, so I have to, if I turn it, it blocks most of the light out, and you get a much better idea. This one is 36 count oyster shell from Fox and Rabbit. Again, I don't have much in the way of this kind of colour, so I just thought, oh, okay. And I get a fat 8 because you can still work a decent sized project on this. And then, but it's a big enough piece for you to do a floss toss for a big project. That makes sense? This is Fox and Rabbit's Dust Bunny. A nice sort of beigey. I could have waited because there's probably going to be a small shop there this weekend. And but I thought no, because I would like to start that rooster sow. Well, obviously that's going to have to wait a bit longer. I did have a count up of how many PhDs I've got. And I've got 61. Or I had 61. That was before I'd finished a couple of things, I think. I'll have a recount for next time and let you know. Because like I say, by then, the class project will be done. So it'll be a bit more accurate. Because I've counted each bit of the class project as a new start, as I've said. Anyway, this one is vellum. It doesn't say it on the label, but I'm pretty sure it's Picture This Plus. I will have to go back and have a look on the website. I'm pretty sure that was vellum. Picture This Plus, I should say. Same as this one. This one just says fog. Very, very similar to the vellum. And it's the last one I've got. But again, I'm pretty sure it was a Picture This Plus. So I will go back, check on the website and note them down so that I know in the future if I want to reorder it. And that's that. I'm all done. I'm not moving around as much because the painkillers have kicked in, which is a good job because I've got to go and do some housework, which hurts, but it's got to be done. Unfortunately, things don't do themselves. Wouldn't it be nice if you could be Samantha? Twitch your nose and it's all done. And then we could all spend our days doing what we enjoy, which is sitting on our derrieres, usually with feet up, your beverage of choice, and Flosstube on the telly. Perfect way to spend a day. If only we could be Samantha and twitch our noses. Oh well, never mind. So there we go, I'm done. As I say, I don't know when my next one will be. It may be before we go down to Bournemouth. It may be when we come back from Bournemouth. I don't know. I know I will have all the finished bits from the class project to show you. I will quite possibly have stash enhancement to show you. I will have beading to show you. I'm not going to show you the ornaments that I'm making for the boys because I know that at least one of them, the oldest, well not, second oldest, watches, so I don't want to give the game away. The middle two that I tend to look after, if mum remembers, they get to see it, so I don't want them to see it beforehand, but I will do at the end of the year when they're all done. I will do a little extra with them on. I haven't forgotten that I still owe you a TW box of Doom. video. Hopefully I will manage to squeeze that in this month. I do need to get it done. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else to let you know about. And I will show you my Haid next time, because I thought I'd pulled it out. I don't know where I've put it. I wondered if it was on my footstool, but it isn't. I don't know what I've done with it. I could have sworn I'd pulled it out. But never mind. So I will see you when I see you. As I say, I'm not entirely sure when that's going to be. It might be, as I know I've already said it, it might be before we go, or it might be once we're back. I don't know. So it could be 3 weeks before I'm back again. It could be the end of the month for all I know. Just have to see how things go. But hopefully by then, touch wood, my derriere will be a lot easier and it won't hurt so much to sit. Anyway, until then, take care of yourselves, enjoy your stitching, enjoy this warm weather that we're having. It's a bit cooler today, which is nice, it's a bit more comfortable. And I will see you soon. Bye.